right, so lesson 11.4, classifying solids. So first, what is a solid? Well, a solid is a 3D figure. It's bounded by flat or curved surfaces that enclose a single region. So if you think of like a can of soup, that is a solid. Now, what makes a solid a polyhedron, this next word, is when all of those sides are polygons. Okay, meaning a polygon means it has to have straight sides and be closed in those elements. So we have this figure here to the right. This is a polyhedron. Okay, now all of the polygons that make up the sides of our polyhedron, these are considered faces. Okay, now whenever we go ahead and two faces meet, that's known as an edge. And then when two edges meet, this point where they meet is known as a vertex. Okay, and then this is a cool thing. The plural of a polyhedron is either polyhedra or polyhedrons. So these are some solids that we have here. Again, they're all 3D spaces. As long as we have all faces being polygons, they're all solid, closed-in, straight-side figures, then we have a polyhedra. And these things here, notice there's like a curve. Like this side here is not a polygon. This around the cone is not a polygon, nor is the base. A circle is not a polygon. And then a sphere, obviously. Okay? All right, so then when we classify polyhedra, is we call them specifically when we classify prisms and pyramids, is when we call them, we reference their bases. Okay, so in a prism, we have two bases, and they are going to fall in parallel planes, and they are going to be congruent. So in this case, both of my bases are pentagons, so this is considered a pentagonal prism. And the next one is a pyramid, so there's only one base, and that base is a triangle, so it's considered a triangular pyramid. Okay? All right, so let's just go ahead and tell whether each solid is a polyhedron. If it is, name it. So yes, this one is. All of my faces are polygons. And then the next thing I would do is classify this as a rectangular prism. Now the next one, again, yes, all of my polygons, all of my faces are polygons. So this would be I look at the bottom, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is going to be a hexagonal pyramid. And then my last one is not a polyhedron. It's a cone, and that curved or the base are not polygons. So you can see how polyhedron follows from it. Just again, this one is yes. They have the dashed. These are all congruent, and that's a right angle. So this must be a square pyramid, because my base is a square. This one is no, because we have these curved sides, and this one is yes. It's going to be I'm just going to write it like this, a triangular prism. Okay, you would write it out, but this is one of my bases, and that's my other base. Again, your base is always going to be congruent. In this one, number 3 is really good, because notice when we think of a base, we think of it sitting on the base. Here, it's not sitting on the triangles, but what defines a base is, like we said before, it has to be two congruent parallel faces. Okay? All right, now this next concept is cross sections. These are kind of cool. I actually have a big book at school. It's called like the Big Book of Cross Sections, and they take a lot of interesting engineering things and cut them in half so you can see what's happening in it. Think about a loaf of bread, though, for an idea of a cross section. If you have all those slices, when you look at one piece of bread, you're looking at a cross section of that full loaf. Okay, this is kind of fun to do if you have butter at home, or we could get Play-Doh. We would do Play-Doh in class. You go ahead and you just kind of slice it, and then you look at it and you see, well, what 2D shape am I looking at that's created by that slice it, like cutting the butter however you want to cut it. Okay, so in this case, my cross sections are these here. It's the intersection of a plane and the solid, and there's 3 different ways that a cube can be cut. And so when we cut this kind of straight through the middle, what we're left with, that cross section, if I were to look at those 2 pieces in my hand, I would have a square. So it's a square. If I would cut it diagonally from like this vertex to the or this edge to the opposite edge, that would give me a rectangle. Obviously those sides are longer. And then I could also go and like chop off this bottom corner, which then whenever I look at the face that's remaining, that would be a triangle. So cross sections are really hard to visualize, I think, when you're looking at them two-dimensionally, and so this is where some 3D stuff can really help, but I'm just looking to give you an exposure to it. So here they cut it. The purplish shape would be a hexagon. Next one, that purplish shape is a triangle. Notice all of my cross sections are always 2D figures. It's always a two-dimensional polygon. Next, if I cut this cylinder, I'm going to get a rectangle. Whoops. For letter D, if I cut that, assuming that that cut is parallel to the base, it's going to be a circle. If it was angled a little bit, like if they cut it kind of like this, then it would be more of like that. And so that would be something different. But anyways, moving on. Here we have cutting a sphere. We get a circle. And cutting this, we get a trapezoid. Okay? All right, just so you get a brief understanding of it. The last thing we're going to do is rotate it. And this is kind of neat if you like take a straw or a pencil and then cut and tape a rectangle to one side of it and slide it between your hands very fast, and you'll get this 3D shape that kind of develops in front of you. So they took essentially that right here. They've gone ahead and, oopsies. Okay, they have taken and sort of said this could be your pencil, tape a rectangle to it. When you rotate it around, you end up getting a cylinder. So they just wanted us to figure out what we get when we rotate this 2D figure around an axis of symmetry. So this would rotate all the way around, and we can see that we would have a cylinder. And if I wanted to describe it, it would have a height of 9 and a radius of 4, or I could say a diameter of 8. This one, I rotate this around. I'm rotating it, so it's going to go like this. So this would be a cone. This would have a height of 5 and a radius of 2. All right, and this one, same idea. If I rotate this around, I'm rotating, so it kind of just keeps spinning. This would be a cone as well. It has a height of 4 and a radius of 3. This, when I rotate it around, it spins all the way around, so it's a cylinder. This would have a height of 8 and a radius of 6. And lastly, this would spin around and give me a sphere. Okay, so this would be my sphere. Oh, I know how to spell it. I honestly do. The sphere with a radius of 7. Okay, all right, that wraps that up. Notice when you do rotations, one of your faces, well, it's not really a face, but one of your sides is always going to be something circular. So, all right, have a great one, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.